Hi guys, welcome back to Cooking with, welcome back to Cooking with Samantha. That's not what we're doing. Welcome back to, what was it again? Sorry, first day on the clone job, I swear. Hi everyone, it's Samantha Lux. Welcome back to my channel. Now, things are definitely looking a little differently right now. This is not the place that I'm usually recording. It is the same building. It's the same house, if you will. It's just, we're in my kitchen today. We have a very, very special event happening today. Well, actually it was last week, but I'm 10 years old. You guys, I'm 10. Is there anything that you can do like when you turn 10? Like, you know how when you turn like 18, you're like, oh, I can buy a scratch ticket. What can you do when you turn 10? Take your training wheels off. July 27th, 2015 was the very first day that I ever took a hormone replacement therapy pill, estradiol, honey. We love you. Shout out to estradiol. And from that day on, I started my transition. Happy birthday, happy birthday to me. So I took the week off from YouTube to celebrate, but honestly, I'm back now and I still kind of want to celebrate. So we're baking a cake. We're baking a transy cake. And I also want to tell you 10 things that I've learned throughout my 10 years of transition. Some of them are kind of sad, so brace yourself, but hopefully we can have some fun in this video, right? I hope my microphone is working. Can we like tuck it in a little? Like a little blanket? Can you hear me? Are you listening? I really hope that worked, or else I'm just whispering to myself like a freak. Like I said, my name is Samantha Lux. I post new videos every single week here on my channel. So if you guys are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. It feels so different. I'm like staring into my living room right now. I'm like, hi Birdie, how are you done? Thank you very much. And I also am becoming a Twitch streamer. Yep, I'm becoming a Twitch streamer. I now stream on Twitch 2 to 3 times a week. So if you guys have Twitch, make sure to come over and hang out with me. If you don't have Twitch, download Twitch and come over and hang out with me. It's so much fun. I swear we have a great time. Last week we played not only some Nintendo games, but we also played Secret Hitler with our friends One Hand Politics and Pete and His Online and a bunch of other great leftist creators. So go check that out as well. And if you missed it, I also have a VODs channel. You can check out the VODs on YouTube as well. So that's cool too. But other than that, I think we should get into the video because it's going to take me a minute to make this cake. It really is. Wish me luck. So first things first, I'll eat your brains. Preheat oven, blend, beat. You guys thought I was gonna make it from scratch? That is so funny. That's really cute. That's quite generous of you. I appreciate it. No, we're not making it from scratch, but we are going to do a little 5-layer cake. So it's gonna take me a minute, but trans flag is gonna be on the inside so that when you cut it open, it looks like a trans flag. That's my goal. I don't know if it's gonna work, but that's my goal. I also have some funfetti. What the hell? I'm just realizing now they got me 2 different funfettis. Babe, this is why you don't let men do your Instacart shopping, I swear to God. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No men shame, but like, come on. Come on. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. I'm not gonna explain what I'm doing because bitch, it's Duncan Hines. It says the instructions on the back. I don't need to explain it. The very first, let me check my note. Hold on, I forgot already. Okay, just to be clear, I don't have like a script for this video, obviously. I'm like, okay, click egg into bowl. No, I have like a list of 10 things that I'm going to be kind of just like chit-chatting about. The first one says, your transition is yours. Obviously that sounds like a very obvious one, right? But let me tell you what I mean by that, okay? Hopefully you don't get a lot of this background audio, but if you do, bear with me, girlie, bear with me. When I was first transitioning, it was kind of a different time. I transitioned 2015, so it was really like before the whole trans awakening, if you will. I started therapy, I think before Laverne Cox was on Time Magazine. I started before the whole Caitlyn Jenner docuseries came out. And so back then there was almost like a prescription of what transition looked like for trans people, right? I threw the box away. I'm like, what else do I need? I don't know. I could have just grabbed a different one, but it's not the same one. You know, they would say, okay, so if you're gonna, why is this egg wet? Hey, yep. Not the wet egg. Why is it wet? I'm actually concerned. I've had them out of the fridge. I'm gonna say that's normal. I'm just gonna use it, and that's normal for me. My eggs are normally wet, I swear. But anyways, what I was saying, maybe I should have done this video as like a sit down video, but yes, I'm reaching and it's my trans cake. I'll do what I want. When I first transitioned within the trans community, there was almost like a prescription of what you should do if you want to transition as a transgender woman and like how you're going to find success as a transgender woman. And basically a lot of it was just talk about assimilation, you know, pass as well as you can, look as good as you can so that people won't know that you're transgender, and assimilate and live a stealth life. It also came with those pressures to medically transition the way that, you know, they prescribe to you on these like online cultures or whatever you want to say. It was very much like, you know, go to the doctor and then get on your hormones and then have this surgery, you know, do the whole thing, and then that's when you'll be happy and that's when you'll be complete. For a minute, I kind of really bought into it. You know, I thought, that was what was going to make me complete. That was what I had to do. I'm extremely happy with where I am now. Don't like get that twisted at all, but I would worry if those sentiments were still prevalent today, you know, because there are people that don't want to, you know, have their boobs done. They don't want to, you know, change their voice. They don't want to even like have bottom surgery. And so I wish I had paid more attention to what I really wanted deep inside and like what was actually bothering me and like gone from there instead of like listening to what the other trans girls in the community were saying that I should do. I'm glad that the conversation around transition has changed so much to now people, it's like widely accepted and widely known that you don't have to have all the surgeries to be trans. You don't have to even be on hormones to live a successful life as a trans person. Whatever makes you feel the most comfortable in your body is all you need. I didn't do one batch. What do I do? I'm gonna move it into the bigger bowl and do one batch.
Okay.
I'm only gonna do 2 boxes for now. I think that'll be fine. Let's see if I can do this without getting any, oh, probably not. My friend taught me that apparently cracking an egg on a flat surface cracks it better. Who freaking knew? Also, what are you doing here? There's one white egg in this carton. The one ally. The one guy invited to the barbecue. I don't know. I think just take your time, you know? I am one of the people that really rushed my transition. I think when I was going through it, I felt a lot of urgency and a lot of anxiety around the time that I might be losing if I wasn't done transitioning. Now, being 10 years out of it, I kind of wish that I had taken my time more and, you know, gotten to know myself as a trans person before rushing into changing myself, you know? Okay, we got 1 cup of, 1 cup of this. This is a big ass thing of like, oh my God, okay, it's gonna be great. I need 2 cups of water. Okay. This thing is going to overflow. No, we're good. Ooh, okay, maybe we move on to the second one. I can also talk about any of these topics more if you guys are like, I want to hear more on that one. I want to hear more on that one. Just let me know. I can make a full sit down and let's talk about it type video. So yeah, just let me know. I don't have like a silicone mixer, unfortunately, so we're going to use this. Girl, this is full. Okay, the second one that I have on my list is a relationship will not validate your gender. Oh, this is a heavy one for me. I mean, I feel like it's pretty self-evident, right? A relationship will not validate your gender. I feel like especially for the trans girlies out there who date men, or maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just a crazy but I think subconsciously for a long time, I thought that if I found, you know, the perfect man and he loved me and he saw me as a woman and he, you know, cherished me as a woman or, you know, played that romantic role in my life that I, you know, that I do long for, that I do wish to find in this life. I think subconsciously I thought that that would like mean that I made it, that my transition was finally like a success, whatever that means, right? Obviously a man cannot validate your gender. When you think about it logically, like of course he can't. I think it's perfectly natural to want to feel validation and to seek out validation from romantic partners, but at the same time, you also need to have a sense of gender that's completely independent from any romantic relationship. And you know, this really didn't even like come into play for me that hard until my first hard breakup. And I remember feeling like grief over the relationship, right? And you know, whatever feelings come up in a bad ending of a relationship like that. But I also remember feeling like some sort of like identity shift, you know? Maybe not a shift, but some sort of identity like trouble, I would say. Because when I was in that relationship, I felt such confidence in my gender. I felt such euphoria in my gender, if you will. And then when that relationship ended, I found myself feeling more dysphoric than ever. I found myself, you know, more critical of my trans identity than ever. And I mean, that just brought me to the realization that I've been placing so much importance on a man to validate my gender. Yes, I see you as a woman. Yes, I will love you as a woman. So yeah, that was hard for me, you know? It's hard to come to that realization that you have, for lack of a better, you know, phrase, centered a man in your life or centered male validation in your life. Like no girly wants to do that, but I think relationships are just weird for trans people. I think they're just really difficult for trans people. Maybe that's just me though, huh? All right, how am I gonna split these into 5? That's the real dilemma I have here, because I really have no idea. Technically they need to be split into 3, but one of them needs to be like 2, 2, 1. You know what I mean? I I also only have 2 cake pans, which is gonna suck. Let's just freaking eyeball it, right? Let's just freaking eyeball it. Sorry if I just slapped you. Vest, I wanna go out, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are, no matter how close, no matter how far. Oh, I'm making a mess. I'm making a full mess. Girl, there is no science happening here. I should have measured this, but I'm not going to because I just don't want to. Oop. Also, this was supposed to be white because I'm adding food coloring to make it like pink and blue. It's gonna have a tint of yellow though, so that's gonna be problematic. I will say, just to close out the little like relationship talk, for now, of course, we can always open it back up again, like I said, but I think I just want to send y'all with the message that you will find love. I think that as trans people, we're told in media so often that, you know, we're unlovable. We've consistently been shown as the joke in romantic situations, and it can really have a toll on, you know, your self-concept. So be aware of that. Be aware that just because you're trans does not make you any less lovable. It does not mean there's something wrong with you. You will find somebody that understands you and sees you and loves you for who you are. Literally, no matter what. It's actually kind of a nice little segue to the next one though, because that one is somebody will accept you no matter what. And the next one is some people will never accept you no matter what. You guys, I get to use this cute little food coloring. It's neon colors, pink, green, and blue. I haven't used food coloring since I was in literal preschool. We used to dye, I think, shaving cream with it. I don't know. Oh, there's like a little recipe. Okay, 5 pink drops for bubblegum. And of course we're doing bubblegum. Do they have like a light blue? No? I still feel like this one needs a little more. Also, fun fact, you guys, my favorite flavor of ice cream is cake batter. Or one of them. I also love black raspberry. Love it. Love black raspberry. Love it. Okay, let's see how this freaking goes. Do I have to open this or no? I sure do. So yeah, on the next topic, some people will never accept you, girl. Some people just will never see you for who you see yourself as. They will never want to even try. And the faster you learn to not care and to like just go about your merry way, the happier you're gonna be. I mean, I feel like it happened for waves in me in the beginning. I was like, I don't give a f. If you don't like me, then that's fine with me, girl, you know? And then for a while, a few different times for different periods of time, I would get into my head a little bit and be like, why don't they like me? Like, what can I do to make them understand me? Like, what can I do to make them appreciate me and like see me for who I am? Blah, blah, blah. Girl, some people, yeah, it does just take a little extra push. But for some other people, there's nothing you can do. You just have to accept that and move on, you know? I'm not even talking about like, oh, there goes 2 drops. I'm not even talking about like in romantic situations. I'm talking about just like in general. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm on social media, but I get exposed to a lot of people that are just like, I don't know, I hate all the transies and I'll never will freaking like y'all, so get over it. And so I've just, oh my God, it looks so pretty. Wait, let me show you as I mix it. Can you see? Can you see? No, it looks like a freaking peppermint though. And guess what? You feel the same way about other people too, right? We all feel that type of way about a certain type of somebody. Maybe not for the same reasons, right? It's not just because of who they are. Maybe they're just like a bad person. We don't like them for that reason, but we're all gonna have somebody that we just are never, we don't have any interest in liking, and that's fine. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your precious time. This is actually coming out so good because you're gonna be so impressed with me. It looks a little peachy, a little salmon-y, but I'm assuming that's just because of the yellow, but like, oh, should I add more red? Do you think that will make it more pink? Let me think, if it's too yellow, how do I counteract yellow? I need purple. I don't have purple food coloring. You know what? Actually, we're gonna go along with our number 3 that we just talked about. You just have to find peace with who people are. This is who she is. We're gonna find peace with it. Okay, let's move on to the blue. I love that. I love her. She's so beautiful. This one's definitely bigger still, but you know. Our layers just aren't gonna be even, and that's gonna be totally fine. Like, everything's totally fine. You have to open it again. They all have different tabs. Thank you. Open, open, open. Oh, did you just spit on me? Ooh, it looks like my shirt. You guys, maybe I should just be a baker. Oh, it's turning green. It's turning green. Well, it's kind of teal. It actually matches my dress perfectly, actually. It might be good. Color is that? Does that look blue to you?
Nope.
I'm gonna add a little bit more blue to see if it gets less teal. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot. Let's see how it goes. Well, shit's tiring, man. Okay, that looks actually really pretty. Really pretty. I almost just dropped it. I don't know if I already introduced number 4, but number 4 is everybody, wait, what is it? Everybody's trans experience is different. Everyone transitions for different reasons. Yes, 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 yes. How do I want to say this? We're all very familiar, me going diplomatic, we're all very familiar with the current state of the trans community. We're all very familiar with the bricks versus with the dolls and the freaking too cute versus this true scum and the, girl, there's just so many different categories. I think what I really wanted to highlight with this one is to not compare yourself to others. I cannot tell you how many trans girls DM me or trans people DM me and say, I am really struggling. Like, I don't know if I'm trans enough. I don't know if I'm trans enough to transition. I don't like want to make the community look bad, or I don't want to make a fool of myself because for some reason, like they feel this like imposter syndrome when it comes to being trans. It's rough because, you know, you're going into a community where you would want to feel safe and accepted for who you are, and to like feel like you're not performing that in the right way, or you're not like doing it right in some way is really difficult. Let me just tell you, there is no such thing as a true trans person, okay? There is no such thing as a real trans person, a real transsexual, a real transgender. That's not a thing, okay? I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to define the word, right? If you want to define it as somebody that's actually living as trans and not somebody that is like pretending to be trans. Okay, whatever, yeah, sure. It's not something that one trans person has and like another trans person doesn't, that like makes them more valid or more trans, or that indicates that they're doing it better, that they are more authentically trans. Trans people are all extremely different. We all transition for different reasons. Some people want to transition and just live stealth and just fly under the radar, and that's perfectly fine. Some people want to be like me and talk about their transness online and show everybody how happy I am and how amazing this has been for me, and that's fine too. And there are people that are somewhere in between. You know, we're all different. It doesn't matter if you don't perform your gender in the same way that the trans girls online are performing their gender. It truly doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you feel safe and comfortable in your body. If you are safe and comfortable in your body and you are living as a gender that you are not assigned at birth, you are perfectly trans. Perfectly trans, okay? Can't freaking stand that. What do we have next on our little list? Ooh, this is a good one. Surgeries and hormones cannot change how you feel about yourself. It's a little yes and no, right? Obviously, like, it's a little yes and no. If you're feeling super gender dysphoric about your chest, top surgery will change the way you feel about that, of course. Same thing with bottom surgery. If you're dysphoric about your genitalia and you have bottom surgery, that will likely change the way you feel about yourself. These layers might be a little thin. Are they gonna get thicker when they cook? Is it gonna get thicker? Sorry. But what I mean by when I say that it won't change how you feel about yourself, sorry, I'm scraping. I'm guessing these aren't gonna go in for the full amount of time because they're thin. It's like less than half a box. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see. Listen, the cake might not come out that good, okay? I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this, okay? I'm just a transy. How can I say what I mean by this? I think that when you have a lot of self-loathing and you have a lot of maybe internalized shame around who you are and, you know, maybe the decisions that you've made or whatever it may be, there is nothing in the world that can take that away except for addressing it, right? Is if you feel like you are not enough, right? I feel like some of us have this core wound of feeling like I'm not enough. Surgery, hormones, whatever you choose to do to your body, whatever medical interventions you choose to take, is not going to take away that feeling like enough. It will definitely help your dysphoria around whatever certain body parts you are working on. But I'll just say, like, for me, I think being trans gave me this core wound of feeling like I'm not enough. But it's something that I've had to break down in years of therapy now. Surgery and hormones, while they may have improved my outward confidence and my confidence in, the way that I looked, it never changed that feeling of like not worthiness that I felt inside. And so I think for people like me who are trans and have these like multiple things going on in their lives, it's really important to break apart, what am I doing out of shame and like out of this core wound, and what am I doing to appease my gender dysphoria? Honestly, I think the next one is kind of along the same lines, and it's that transition is not an escape route for internalized shame. I want to say that again. Transition is not an escape route for internalized shame. And this can be taken in a couple different ways, I think. I think that, there are the people who do transition because they do have shame around who they are. Maybe they're like a gay man or something and they feel shame around that. And so they think that transitioning might help them. That is not accurate. Transition does not help you escape your shame, right? It will just cause more issues for you. But I think there's the other part that like applies to people like myself who like are trans and maybe have felt shame because of that transness. I talked about that urgency that I felt in the beginning of my transition. I think a lot of it was almost like shame-based, right? I felt like I had to escape the days where I was a more clockable trans person, where I was, visibly trans. But once I did, I still held the shame of being a trans person, right? I still held that core wound of being not enough because I'm trans. And so while yes, transition was right for me in the sense that, now I get to live my life freely and feel more gender euphoria and feel more safe and comfortable in my body, that shame that I felt, when I was, a young boy or a young pre-transition girl, if you want to say, I still had to figure that all out. It wasn't just magically gone since I transitioned. Having done therapy to work on these core wounds and to work on this shame, I know now that there's nothing wrong with us, that some people may not be able to see us for who we are, but doesn't make us any less of who we are. It doesn't make us any less worthy of love, of a shame-free life, of happiness. So I just wish that that was something that I had learned in the beginning, right? So I could, move throughout my transition with that information. The cakes are definitely getting bigger. They're definitely getting bigger in there. How do I tell if this is done? Do I do the little brownie poke method? Like this part feels kind of firm. This part feels not done. You are not gonna believe what the just happened, girl. So I took a quick little filming break as those were cooking to bring my dog out, right? I forgot my keys. Oh my God. Locked myself out, had to go to the neighbor's apartment. And luckily they were so nice. They were like, oh my God, yes, let me call them for you. And they invited me in and everything. And it was so cute. But girl, my cake was in the oven. Talking to the maintenance people like, please hurry, I have a cake in the oven. They're like, all right. Anyways, our blue layers might be a little burnt. Also, they look so much more green now. I think it's the burntness. Yeah, when we cut into it, it'll look more green. I mean blue. Girl, good thing my neighbors were nice. I knocked on a different neighbor's door. They didn't answer, so. Man, you better not knock on my door next time. Anyway, if these cakes are fully just sliding out, I know they're burnt. I know these are burnt. Yeah. Okay, so next we're gonna move on to, laying out the pink cakes and putting those in. But as I do that, I wanna talk a little bit about the next one, the next thing on my list, which is our pain is real and shouldn't be ignored. And I know it sounds really freaking cheesy right off the bat, but I got a few things to say, okay? We are truly the only ones that know what it's like to be trans. If you're not trans, you're never gonna understand what it's like to live this life, to experience the things that trans people have to experience on the daily, having our access to healthcare be a political battle, having our, participation in sports be a political battle, having our lives be a political, not even a political battle, but a political football, really, for these people to use to further their own campaigns. That's actually legitimately painful, especially when you're just a trans person trying to live your life and you turn on the news and it's, these trans monsters are coming after you and your kids and we have to do something about trans people, disrespecting and taking away women's opportunities. And all the while we're here just trying to survive to the next day. We're trying our best to be comfortable in a body that doesn't feel like us. It all just feels really mean and it's really painful to deal with. It just sucks when it feels like it's like your fault, Obviously it's not our fault, right? We did not start these campaigns against trans people. We did not start these battles against trans people. It's not our fault. But at the same time, it's easy to feel that way. These layers are definitely gonna be a little bit smaller. Hopefully I don't get locked out again. I don't know, I just wish that somebody was there to just be like, I can see how much pain you're in. I can see how hard this is for you. And I'm here for you. So if I can give that to any of you viewers out there, it's gonna be a little cheesy, but I hear you, I am there for you. I understand your pain is real. We're gonna do our best to get through this together. And kind of in that same vein, don't ignore your own pain, right? I feel like as trans people, we oftentimes will brunt the pain of, whether it be a bad relationship or, just a bad situation in general, because we feel like there's no other options for us. I can give a very specific example of a past relationship that I was in that I just should not have been in because I ignored my pain. I ignored what my body was telling me for so long because I didn't see any other option, And I don't know if I didn't consciously didn't see another option, or if it was more of like a subconscious thing or like whatever, but pay attention to your body, you know, not only your mind, but pay attention to your body too. Because I think for a long time I like was so focused on like my inner world, but now going through trauma therapy, it's really been focused on getting back in touch with my body and like healing in a very somatic, grounded way. And part of that has just been recognizing and, you know, validating the way that my nervous system is feeling in that current moment, and being aware of the way that certain things make my nervous system feel and the way that certain people make my nervous system feel. For so long I would ignore it for whatever reason, and it just gets worse, babe. It just gets worse. Now, after some editing magic, our cake is done. Don't look at my sunburn. Don't.
Red light. Green light. Red light.
Not jiggly. Perfectly done. Although I probably will have to wait for this to like cool down a little bit before I can pop it out, but oh, maybe, well, maybe not. She's got away. I'm using a spatula. Let's see if it works. I feel like it's definitely too thin. I should not be able to spatula out. Okay, it's gonna be a layer. It's gonna be a layer. It's gonna be just fine. Oh no, it's really getting away. Almost ripped it, but I didn't. Oh, I did. Oopsie, a pink layer. Get off my goddamn spatula. It's kind of ugly as looking right now, but it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be cute. We're gonna frost it, and then when you cut into it, it's gonna be just fine. Don't even worry about it. Okay, last step, or not even last step, last layer. This one just looks like vanilla pudding. Okay, last cake going in the oven. Let's see. Now, while we wait for that last layer to cook, I still do have 2 more things that I've learned throughout my transition that I want to tell you guys about. I'm gonna save the very last one, which is a happier one, so don't even worry, till we're icing it, or like till the very end. So the one that I want to talk about now is one that you've probably heard the cliche of before, but I think that one is a good cliche, but also I think that it applies to a transition as well. Rejection is redirection. I think that this is something that I have had to learn and like engrave into my like being for a while now. I used to be very sensitive to rejection, not only from like potential partners, but like rejection, maybe in the term, like maybe you're going out for a surgery and they say that your anatomy isn't compatible, or say you're going for a new job position and that job position doesn't work out. Or at least to me, it's important to have the framing in mind that rejection is redirection, right? So if that person rejects you because you're trans, maybe down the line, you would have found out something about them that, you know, wouldn't have been a good match for you anyways, or maybe it would have been a toxic situation. So, you know, that rejection is really healing you from something. It's helping you avoid something. If you get rejected from a job application, you know, maybe that's not the job that you're meant to have. Maybe you're about to apply to a better job like next week. It's kind of like that butterfly effect. What is it? The butterfly effect? No, it's the burnt toast effect, right? Which basically says that when you burn your toast in the morning, you know, of course you want to get upset, and it's like a frustrating thing because maybe you have to stop and make a new piece of bread. But what the theory says is that extra 5 minutes that you put into preparing a new piece of toast maybe would save you from getting in a car accident on your way to work, would maybe save you from eating a moldy piece of bread. I don't know, whatever it is, it was meant to be that way. You were rejected from having that toast to be redirected to a non-moldy toast. I don't know, maybe that's a silly example, but I feel like it really does fit here, right? They used to say that trans people were divine, right? That they were descendants of God and that they were, you know, they were supposed to be worshipped and stuff. And maybe this trans rejection is really our divine protectors protecting us from a less than pleasant outcome or a less than pleasant result. That's what I like to tell myself anyways. I don't know, as much as I love being trans, as much as I, you know, wouldn't trade this for the world, it is really, really hard to be trans. And it's things like that that really help me feel better about my identity and feel more at peace with who I am. So the next one is nobody, and I mean nobody, can tell you who you are, okay? Not the president. Start with an easy one, not him. Even your biggest fan, your number one ally, no matter who it is, your worst enemy, no matter who it is, nobody can tell you who you are except for yourself. And guess what? The best part about that is that you get to make the rules, right? I mean, for the most part, right? We can't just like change the definition of words no matter how many times they try to accuse us of doing so. Nobody can tell you that you are trans or that you're not trans, right? Nobody. I thought a lot about this after that Jubilee trans versus detrans video that I did a while back, because honestly, that episode really, that filming process really messed with my mind a lot. I'll gonna be so vulnerable with you guys. To see people that on some level I related to talking about how they felt like they were manipulated by their doctors and that, you know, they're not really trans and, you know, there's no real trans and all this kind of stuff. I really like, it got to my head a little bit. I won't even lie. Granted, I was also in like a bad headspace because of my last relationship. So like I was already a little bit like wounded, but also can we talk about how this looks like a pretty patty, but like an ugly pretty patty? But do you see the vision? It's coming to life, right? Okay, let's keep going. Do I have to cut around the edges? Or just go for it? Maybe I'll cut around the edges. Kind of just messed with me because I was like, well, what if like the same thing happened to me? What if I'm not really trans and like all this stuff and like, girl, if you've watched my channel for literally any amount of time, this is not going well. For literally any amount of time at all, you would know that like, I'm very solid in my identity. I know who I am. I'm very confident with who I am. My identity doesn't really like fluctuate at all. So for that to have affected me, oh my God, it looks so pretty, sorry. So for me to like be feeling those types of things was like, it was saying a lot, right? Also, if you're a cake person out there, I'm so sorry. Like I'm not doing this right, but I'm doing my best. And so it led me to do some more soul searching and like digging into my own personal traumas and, you know, everything. And like going back to when I was first transitioning and really trying to figure out like, okay, well, what was it that I was transitioning for? What was it? What was the real reasoning? And turns out it's because I'm trans. Turns out it's because that's who I freaking am. But it just goes to show that like, these people don't know you, dude. These people online and like, whoever you come in contact to in your life that is like, yeah, no such thing as trans, no such thing as that. Maybe not to you, right? Maybe that's not something that is real in your life and your worldview and your life experiences, but for a lot of people, that is the reality, right? Like I am a trans person. Like there is no other way to describe the things that I've been through in my life other than by saying that I'm trans. And you will genuinely drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why you are the way you are. I mean, you can look at some of these detransitioners, they don't seem happy. I think our goals as human beings should just be to find peace in our lives and to find happiness. And if somebody has found happiness in a trans identity, I don't understand why people would want to take that away from them. So if you're somebody out there that is struggling with, you know, the perceptions of other people, maybe it's another trans person out there who says, no, you're not really trans. Like I'm trans and you don't feel the way I feel, so you can't be trans. Or whether it's, you know, the next conservative news network you have on your channel right now, whoever it is, they have no right to tell you who you are and who you can be. Just because they may not understand or, you know, resonate with your identity does not make your identity less real, doesn't make you less trans, it just makes them less understanding. Also, I don't know how to ice a cake. I'm really doing my best, I swear. I feel like if I start with like some stuff like this, then I can like go around and like blend it. It's like applying foundation and then like taking a brush afterwards and like blending it in. Or should I just leave it like that? It's kind of cute. Uh-oh, one's falling, hello. I don't know, I think the current political climate really encourages us to be hyper critical of our own trans identities, and I just don't think it's necessary. I think that if you're trans and you're comfortable being trans, then that's it. That's all there is to it. There's no digging deeper necessary. There's no trauma excavation necessary. There's no freaking, you know, whatever you want to say. None of that is really not necessary. I mean, don't get me wrong. Go to a mental health professional, please, and make sure you have no comorbidities that could be affecting your like judgment or whatever. But when it comes down to a trans identity, there is no wrong way to have one. Okay, let's see if I can blend this because I'm kind of annoyed. This was a horrible idea. Maybe I just need more. Oh no, okay, I'm getting it. Oh, hell yeah, I'm a genius. Okay, let's do it. Oh, I should have put frosting between the layers. Oh, damn it. It's gonna be a-okay. See, this is one of those things, you just make a mistake and you just keep on going. What should I write on the top? Happy transiversary. That's a lot of letters. It's been a long day of cake making here in the Samantha Logs Bakery. I swear, I'm not made for this. I'm made for memes, and I'm made for comics, and I'm made for jokes, and that's all. Not baking cakes. Freaking 5-layer cake, it's too much for me. It smells good though. It's ugly, but I did my best. And if that ain't a freaking, you know, hidden meaning or something, I don't know what he is. That actually looks kind of good on camera. And the little cake bits? Who wants a cake bit? Is icing edible raw? Oh my God, obviously done. Hello? She's got away. So I'm thinking of doing a pink icing on top. What do we think? Pink icing for the letters. Also, do you like my little DIY piping method? Oh, this is a pretty pink. Can you get to the goddamn bottom of the bag? You see that talent, that skill, that technique, Kenny? Oh, this smells good. This is strawberry frosting on a vanilla cake. Gonna be so good. Can I use it or no? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's too, no, it's too. Watch me do it again. You know what this smells like? Kind of like a Christmas tree, but also like those strawberry wafers. Remember like the layered wafers? You know what I'm talking about? Mwah! Love those. It's so crazy that it's been 10 freaking years, you guys. Like I remember starting my channel, but I was sitting in my bedroom in my parents' house, and I remember feeling like I knew where I wanted to go and like who I wanted to be and the life that I wanted to live. And I'm just like realizing, like sitting here filming this video in my apartment, my little dog, fully transitioned. Like I love myself. I love the way that my transition has turned out. I feel like I don't know, how do I feel? I feel like a little numb to it, you know? I'm really proud of little me, you know, for making it this far and for not giving up and for creating a safe life for myself and a peaceful life for myself where I can, sorry if that's crinkling in your ear, where I can, you know, be myself. And I don't know. 10 years is a long time. It's a really long time, and it went by really, really fast. So if you're just starting your transition, don't rush it. Take your time. Enjoy being in it, because sometimes I kind of wish that I was still in my transition and not like fully transitioned, you know, because the journey is, it's part of the fun. It's part of the magic of like, and that sounds so cheesy and ridiculous, but transitioning really is magic, you know, to go from like a dark, sad life. Not to say that we all come from one, but at least for me, I was coming from a very dark place to live a life that feels bright and happy now. It is magical. So just like allow yourself to like be in that time, you know? Because you only transition once, unless you just transition more than once. But yeah, so. Okay, now a little sprinkle. You kind of ruined it. Okay, I'll dust a little of the sprinkles off. Imagine I just dropped the whole thing. I almost started to talk about the last one, but I mean, actually, I think I already talked about it. I kind of got into it just now. The last one that I had written down was, let loose. Nobody cares as much as you do. Find and thrive in your gender euphoria. I wrote that one down because I think that we take ourselves too seriously nowadays. We're forced to take ourselves way too seriously nowadays. Transitioning is supposed to be beautiful. And I hate that they've turned it into something so like monstrous, because it's not at all. So this is my cake. I'm so nervous of dropping it, but I wrote, you did it, because I freaking did it. We freaking did it. But we know we're not gonna freaking do is end this video on a sad note. Time to find our freaking gender euphoria like I just suggested and have some freaking trans cake, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and cut into it. I have got to show you the inside. Where do I want to cut though? I don't want to like ruin it too much. Let's cut up a little heart. Come on, girl. Oh, there we go. Maybe I'll just leave it halfway in like that. I hope this actually works and it's not just like freaking muddy in there. Oh my god, it looks like it's kind of working, but oh my god, I'm so excited. Don't fall over, bestie. Don't fall over. I'm not ready for you yet. I should have got a plate first. It fell over. Oh my god. I messed it up so bad. Everything's fine, all right? Everything is gonna be just fine. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit more. There we go. Yes! Okay, don't look at the frosting drop. But it looks so good. Look at the inside. That's so cool. You guys, it was a success. Wow. Well, you guys, I have to take a bite. Imagine I made the whole cake and didn't even take a bite. Girl. I want to say a big thank you for being here with me, whether you've gotten here, last week or you've been here the whole 10 years. I really appreciate you, and I love having your support. I'm gonna try my best to say this without using cliches, but my life has truly been changed because of all of you. I am living my dream life, not just, being trans, but I get to be a YouTuber. I get to create content that makes me happy all the time. And I get to share it with all of you, and I get to lean on you when I need support as well. You've always been there for me, and I just love you so much. I hope you know that I'll always be here for you. To 10 years, I don't want like a burnt piece, to 10 years of being Samantha. Yep. Tastes like vanilla cake. I freaking did it. Oh, it's actually really good. Yep. With the frosting. Yep. Yep. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll talk to you really soon, okay? Bye, everyone.